Is Ween, the prophecy, the eccentric cousin of early 90s point-and-clicks, or the secret keystone in adventure gaming's shaky Jenga stack? Rhetorical curveball, self-owning answer, somehow, gloriously both. Published in Europe by Coktel Vision in late 1992 and shipped to North American DAOist shelves under Sierra's banner the following spring, this fantasy head trip feels like Myst got kidnapped by a French comic strip, force-fed mushroom tea, and released only after promising to teach players alchemy. Underrated? Outside continental Europe, absolutely. US magazines barely ran a sidebar. Overpraised? Only if you mistake moon logic for genius sorcery. Fundamental? Maybe not in raw sales. Yet try to imagine later surreal puzzlers. Azrael's Tear, the Neverhood, minus Coktel's willingness to hinge an epic quest on 3 literal grains of sand. Historical context. By 1992, Coktel Vision was on a tear. The slapstick hit Gobliens, 1991, had just toured European charts. Educational juggernaut Adaboo was infiltrating French classrooms, and the studio's hybrid FMV on VGA technology debuted in Lost in Time. Sierra Online, eager to sprinkle continental spice on a catalog headlined by King's Quest VI and Quest for Glory 3, signed Coktel to a distribution deal that summer. The first result was Ween, the Prophecy, a disc-based 256-color puzzler destined to confuse more English-speaking players than it converted. I met it via an Amiga format cover disc demo in '93. My CRT erupted with digitized FMV actors, impossibly earnest in cardboard wizard robes, floating over airbrushed castles. The premise locked in fast. Kindly mentor Ohkram informs novice mage Ween that the villainous Kraal will seize the realm unless 3 sacred sand grains are placed in the Revuss hourglass before the next solar eclipse. Exactly 3 in-game days away. Every major puzzle chain choose half a day. Dawdle and Ohkram rematerializes in a magic mirror to scold you like a spectral homeroom teacher. While LucasArts was polishing Day of the Tentacle and Trilobite hype The Seventh Guest, Coktel doubled down on painterly surrealism, heavy metal style backdrops, MIDI harpsichords, and creature designs that looked ripped from a Moebius notebook after a sleepless night. Americans expecting talkie CDs instead got crunchy sound blaster chants and subtitles laced with Gallic idioms. It was different, daring, occasionally infuriating, and that was the charm. Mechanics, the click alchemy interface. Interface first, a single arrow cursor performs everything. Right-click cycles between context verbs, chiefly a hand, use pick, an eye, look, and a wand icon that stands in for miscellaneous magic. Inventory hides inside a stitched satchel at screen bottom. Items appear 4 per page, so once your bag bulges, you're nudging arrows more often than an Excel power user tabs sheets. It's fiddly, but Coktel squeezed personality from every interaction. Select a burning torch, accidentally click Ween's boot, and he yelps, shakes his foot, and a puff of VGA smoke curls into the sky. Pure cartoon feedback long before Telltale codified reaction GIFs. 3 days, 3 grains, 0 hard deaths. Contrary to Sierra's more sadistic legacy, Ween can't truly die until the climactic tower duel. Miscasting spells or poking suspicious mushrooms simply drains precious daylight while the game plays a slap on the wrist animation. The fail state arrives only if you bungled the final Revuss hourglass ceremony. That design keeps tension high. The eclipse timer feels like Professor X hovering over your shoulder without restarting you every 5 minutes. A small mercy compared with King's Quest V's Poisonberry Graveyard. Day 1. Forging the Golden Key. Your first chore is to assemble the golden key that unlocks Castle Chimerian's inner sanctum. Puzzle legs include bribing a gargoyle by baking a gemstone-studded cake, achieved via an on-screen cauldron where you juggle pollen, venom, and elixir in the correct sequence. Luring a squeaky bat to drop its crystalline fangs into molten metal, then dipping the fresh key in dragon-forged gold that cools only when you waft it beneath enchanted bellows. It's as if Sierra's combine item A with B mandate eloped with an alchemist's recipe scroll. Day 2. The Silver Seed and Barrel Ballet Day 2 sends you across moonlit ramparts seeking the Silver Seed. A rolling barrel gauntlet guards the keep's spiral staircase. Click poorly, and Ween flattens cartoon style, losing minutes as an impish timer rewinds. At the summit, you solve a sound pattern door lock, matching tuned goblets to collect a phosphorescent seed embedded in crystal. Narrative urgency peaks when Kraal broadcasts taunts by a magic orb, chewing FMV scenery like a mid-80s rock opera villain. Day 3, the Glass Orb of Truth. The finale tasks you with distilling the glass orb by simmering sand, moon tears, and basilisk breath in precise order. The minigame resembles a color-matching mixer, rotate vials, trigger Bunsen glyphs, avoid overboiling. Crack the code and you fashion an iridescent sphere that refracts Revuss sunlight into spectral beams. Your key to the last grain and the endgame. Audio-visual mojo. Technically, Ween punches above its 640 kilobyte waistline. Layered parallax gives static rooms faux depth. Digitized intro actors fade into backgrounds via dithering that somehow lands closer to charming than cheesy. The MIDI score swerves from pipe organ menace to jaunty harpsichord riffs. Short loops guarantee earworm status. One standout cue, a minor key 3-note motif anytime Kraal appears, predates modern jump scare stingers by years. Legacy and influence on raw numbers when never troubled US bestseller lists. Sierra shifted exponentially more Gabriel Knight units. European magazines were friendlier. Amiga Joker stamped a bullish 74%, praising the art while groaning at inventory pagination. CU Amiga delivered a grumpy 45%, calling it a maze of pretty pictures hiding sadistic head scratchers. Yet cult status blossomed. French bulletin boards swapped pixel hunt tips. German shareware discs bundled save file trainers. And by the early 2000s, Scum VM support cemented longevity. Indie devs cite Coktel's color-drenched palette when discussing everything from the Whispered World to Machinarium. Meanwhile, the 3-day Relic Chase structure resurfaced in Microid's Atlantis series, and Coktel's FMV on VGA experiments foreshadowed Dragon Lore and Inca 2. Ween also became a cautionary tale. Designers at LucasArts half-jokingly labeled impossible to telegraph riddles Blue Rock Syndrome, referencing the infamous quest item hidden behind 2 layers of scenery opacity. That internal memo later leaked, turning the term into game dev shorthand for moon logic puzzle design. Today, speedrunners exploit the absence of death screens. Barrel rolls are routed with pixel-perfect jumps, and the alchemy cauldron can be buffer-clicked, so its stirring animation cancels early, shaving seconds. Twitch chat spams sandglass emojis whenever someone nails the Revuss ceremony with sub-30-minute runs. Closing paragraph plus score boot up Ween in DOSBox, and its opening screen still gleams like stained glass in a CRT cathedral. Seconds later, a scowling gargoyle demands you combine ruby beetles with holy water and a loaf of bread. Absurdity you'll either embrace or curse. That's the contract. Meet French surrealism halfway, or retreat to friendlier point-and-click pastures. Stick it out and you'll map castle corridors by candlelight. Celebrate when barrel physics finally click, and grin at FMV wizards chomping scenery like community theater Ian McKellen's. Yes, the UI creaks, and yes, several puzzles toe the line between audacious and unforgivable, but the painterly art, relentless timer, and gleeful commitment to weird make Ween a hypnotic time capsule. My final tally, 7.8 out of 10. Deduct a full point for Blue Rock Moon logic, then sprinkle bonus sand for daring to rest all of creation on 3 tiny grains you could hide in a floppy disk sleeve.